Good Monday night. This is Dave Burman. We are live, cmpradio.net, our studios on the border of Brookhaven, along with, we have Upland, right on the border there, and Chester. What a show this is going to be. They're all great. This is really special. It is a feature on the Chester Biddy League basketball program, which is unbelievable, an incredible feeder program for not only Chester High, Chester Charter, but also for programs around the area. It's been around since 1958. And I have the program from the year Chester actually hosted the World Championships of Biddy League Basketball, 1965. It was the 14th National Biddy Basketball Championship Tournament, April 8th, 9th, 10th at Showalter Junior High School, 10th and Lloyd Streets in Chester. And here is the program right here. Very nice. Unbelievable. 1965 Tournament of Champions. And, of course, the host, they called it the Chester Central Biddy League Basketball, started in 1958. Special guest here tonight. He has been the longtime president, organizers, I call him Mr. Chester Biddy right now, Ralph Dorsey. Here he is. Ralph graduated Chester High in the 80s, right?
89, I'm sorry.
89, there you go. And we have Mr. Biddy himself, one of the star players from the 1964 World Championship team, world champions, Chester Biddy Basketball, Eddie Swain. All right, Eddie, how you feeling tonight?
Good. Thanks for asking.
Mr. Calm, Cool, Collected. And just arriving to the studios, a member of that 64 team with you, and that's Johnny Walker. Johnny is with us all the way to the right. Johnny, how you feeling tonight?
I'm good, thank you.
Very good. Now, did you go to Chester High, Johnny?
Yes.
And what year did you graduate? With Eddie, 68?
I graduated 69.
69. Did you play basketball for the High?
Not in my last 2 years, no.
All right. You know, I have all the archives. I got to look you up. And a guy's like, H. Major Poteet, you remember him from back in the day. Yeah. H. Major, he also Chester Biddy Leaguer, and he never played for the varsity Chester High basketball. And we also have Kirkland.
Wow, yes.
Just got into our Hall of Fame. And what a great player he was. He went to Cheney, had a tremendous career. And then you remember him.
Oh, yes.
All right. And he did not play for Chester High also. But anyway, those are the guests. In 1964, what a special time. April, was that end of March, April of 1964. World champs, Chester Biddy Basketball, head coach Vaughn Caton, assistant coach Timmy Gill of the Gill family. You beat the host, Jersey City, right up there in Jersey City, basketball hotbed up there, 61-55, 1,200 fans at St. Peter's College. And Eddie, you were named Mr. Biddy Basketball, 72 points in 3 games. That's unbelievable. Your teammates, Johnny, all the way there to the right, Sylvester Jennings, Chuck Anthony, Phil Pennington, along with Dom D. Fernando, Breon Harris, Bruce Mears, Harry Seaman, Tom Trotman. A lot of these guys are checking into the show here tonight. And Eddie, tell us about that special 1964, the spring.
Well, Dave, thanks for introducing me. But before I go on, I'd like to say we all praise the Lord Jesus Christ, because without him, we wouldn't even be here. Now, with that, I just want to say that it was an exciting year for my life. I was around 13 then, in 1964, but it was 63 going over to 64. With that correction, Timmy Gill was the head coach.
Oh, Timmy was the head
Vaughn
coach.
Coton was assistant coach.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
The 63 year, the year before that, Harry McLaughlin and you were named to the All-American team as we lost Chester to East Chicago, Indiana. Basketball hotbed out there, 41-39. The last 10 seconds of the game, then lost to Lakewood, New Jersey, 63-59 in overtime. The games are up in Scranton, PA, which is the birthplace of Biddy Basketball.
That's right.
And you know those Scranton teams, that Scranton area, Hazleton, Tamaqua, Abington Heights, they've caused fits not only to Chester High in the state tournament over the years, but to other Delaware County teams. So really good basketball up there. So back to 64, just incredible. Just incredible. And if, Johnny, you want to get on there and talk about your thoughts?
Well, that was at that time, as recollecting, that's some of the most memorable time in my life. It's very impressionable. It was a time when it was the civil rights movement was at the onset, and we were somewhat ambassadors, as you speak. If you look back in your archives, you will see there was an article reflecting that, just that how it was 5 African Americans on the squad, and how we held the community together. Because at that time, if looking back in the archives, there was a so-called riot in Chester in '64 during the demonstrations and all, and that was we were like ambassadors at that time, and that is my recollection of that time period. Absolutely
amazing.
John,
yeah, go ahead, Eddie.
Adding something to that, with that civil rights movement at that time, we wasn't even really thinking about it. Okay,
You're young, yeah.
All we had is just 10 ball players, 5 blacks, 5 whites, and all we wanted to do was just win the world championship. So we took it from there. We took it from there, and we had a good time. Our coach, Timothy Gill and Vaughn Caton, stated that just have fun.
That was it.
And then that's what we did. And we had fun, and fortunately, we won.
World championship, unbelievable. How about all this history, Ralph Dorsey? This is the Chester Biddy League is as old as I am, 64, founded in 1958. Ralph, and you've been with the program how many years now?
22 years.
22 years. What do you think of all this history here? I know you've heard about it. It's great to be with these legends here.
I'm just soaking it all in, listening and learning.
But you can talk with the best of them. So we're going to get to Ralph. What's going on with the Chester Biddy right now? Things that you want to promote?
Right now we're working with the DA's office out in Media Courthouse. We're running a violence prevention basketball camp, and this summer is unique because we're going to 5 different neighborhoods to run these programs out of. We're going to Sun Village, we're going to Memorial Park, we're going to the William Penn homes. We're going to actually do it at the church down there because they don't have any courts in the field out there. And we're also going to Crosby Square neighborhood, and also the Salvation Army and the Boys and Girls Club, where we'll be hosting basketball tournaments for about three days at each site. We haven't decided what days and what dates yet, but we will be working on that in the next couple days. But we're inviting all the kids between 2nd and 8th grade that want to come out. They can call and register once we get the flyers and get all the information out. And we're going to run that starting in about 8 or 9 days from now. And we'll run it all the way through September until we hit every site.
And every year you have the Biddy League Championships. How long has that been going on for? It's usually in March or April.
Yeah, well, it's been going on before my time. I just picked it up where the guys left off once they stopped volunteering or decided to move on with their lives. I came in and stepped in and been working there or volunteering every since.
So you just can't do it yourself. You have an unbelievable staff. Let's talk about that.
Okay, yeah. Y'all got Raylene Pierce, who's the vice president. I got Shep Garner, who's the treasurer. I got Tracy Burns, who's also a lawyer in the city, and she's the secretary. Then we got John T.J. Bates, who's the player agent, and that pretty much tell them who's the board members. Then we got about 5 commissioners: Adora Purnell, Mike Hurst, Adora Purnell, Mike Hurst, Cody.
Well, if you can't think about it right now, it'll come to your head a little bit later on.
Sure
but,
will.
And
But you know what, Dave? I just want to say very, very quickly. Dorsey was one of my students when I was dealing with the West Branch YMCA.
nice.
And matter of fact, I think he was one of the youngest fellas there.
What year was that?
It had to be like 79 or 78, something like that.
Right.
But it just amazes me the way how he gathered things and noticed that, gee, I can do this too. As the years came on, look where he's at right now.
Did they have the Chester Biddy Championship Sunday, what we have now? Did they have it back in the day when you guys were playing? Or
No. Once we won that international, and John can recollect with that. Once we won that international championship, things just folded and dropped.
You're kidding me.
The following year, it just closed down.
Well, 65.
65.
Yeah, we hosted the World Championships. And so after that, though,
But Chester wasn't involved because they got knocked off
right?
the following year.
Okay, right in '65.
That's right.
So, and then-
65.
And you were in high school at the time. We're going to talk about your high school career too. So I mean,
Okay. But I also want to say this too. Like number one, I appreciate Johnny Walker coming. It's like it was a fast, quick, and reaction to make contact with him because it wasn't just me. It was Johnny. It was the whole team. Breon Harris, Chuck Anthony, Sylvester Jennings. All these fellas was All-Americans too,
right.
based on me just being the most valuable player. So
Checking in is, remember the great Al Bunky Francis, his grandson, Mark Francis Jr., doing a lot of great things for the area, former Chester High Clipper, and he says hello. And he's, what more can you say about the Francis family? Going back to his, I guess it would be his great uncle.
hey, Mike.
There you go. Oh yeah, Mike Francis, right? Yeah, Mike played for 70 in the 70s for Chester High, and Jaime Francis. I'll never forget him.
Jaime, right. And see, with that, it goes off into another sport. See, because I played with Mike's cousin, Monty Givens. He was a pitcher.
I heard of him. Yeah.
And like we had a good season playing baseball. So all props and kudos to them too.
All right. Mark also says he can create a flyer for events, so check him out. Mark Francis Jr. Thank you. He's the one who did the our logo, DELCO Sports 360. DELCO Sports 360. It's awesome. So Johnny Walker, what a great name, man. What a great name. Do you still go to the Chester High games? You get, because where do you live? You live in Chester still?
Yes, I live in Chester. Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, let's talk about your career. You graduated Chester High again in '68. You said
69.
'69.
Right.
Right before my man Lou Caldwell.
Yes.
I see Lou running around while hanging out with the old heads. So after you graduated, what'd you do?
Well, I went on up. I went to Cheney. I graduated from Cheney, and then I'm into the social service field, which I'm still working now. I'm an intensive case manager with the Crozier Keystone System, and basically that's it. I enjoy what I do, and I just keep doing it.
Did you play hoop? You still play? Well, you still playing some pickup hoops? I mean, I am at 64. You guys look like you can still play.
Well, we 70s.
Eddie, everybody says you look 20 years younger, man.
And I have double replacements, both
Well, Fred-
bilateral hip and knee.
Fred Chazen says hi to you guys. I don't know if he's checking in or not tonight, but everything here is archived on YouTube. Dave Burman here with, to my right, Ralph Dorsey. And your official title, Ralph, for the Chester Biddy League is President, Chester Biddy League. To the right of Ralph, Mr. Biddy, 1963, 64, Eddie Swain and Johnny Walker all the way to the right. Johnny and Eddie on that 1964 Chester Biddy League World Championship team. Eddie, tell us about, you graduated in 68.
That's right.
And I'm not supposed to bring up a couple of games, but I have to. It's all part of history because you won most of them in high school, but it shows you how hard it is to win a PIAA state championship. But after that, you went to Cheney.
Correct. As long as you don't bring up the 1967.
On my 9th birthday.
Ambridge and Chester.
Tom Trotman sent that. All right. So, yeah, we've talked about that enough. Let's just say we couldn't win the state championship that year. But, yeah, so 65, you were a freshman. And Bo Ryan, Mike Marshall, a couple of your mentors there.
That's right.
And they were undefeated. And they went to the state quarterfinals. And Palestra lost to a very good Steel High team in overtime. You probably were at that game.
Well, no, but listening to you mention that they was undefeated.
Yes.
We were too.
67.
And 68.
Right. And 66 team that lost to Shenley had one loss going into the state final. And you know who that was to. And he brags about it all the time. St. James. St. James. Mike Studinsky. You know Mike?
Yeah, Stud.
The Stud. He's down in, he's working in Avalon, New Jersey, doing his thing down there.
Next time you see him, tell him I said hello.
I'll share this video with him. I'll share the YouTube link with him. So you grad 68.
Yeah, 68.
Another great year.
67, we started off, and that was the undefeated team.
Right.
That was Mike Martin. No, that was myself, Paul Williams, Harry McLaughlin, Ken Schamberger, and Paul Williams. We went undefeated until we got to the very last game, Ambridge.
And our buddy Ketty Harris was there. And the same thing, Chester went to the state finals 2012, our last PIAA state final of a PIAA public school record 8. And we blew out Lower Merion. And Ketty, it did an article, Jack McCaffrey did a great article on what that game meant. And Ketty said, I was there. Whatever, I think Ketty might have been 10 at the time. 1967, we are not going to lose this game here tonight. And when I was out at that was State College, Bryce Jordan Center. So Chester, that's the only undefeated team going all the way through the playoffs for any Chester High basketball team. Ralph, your son he came the next year. We could have three-peated.
Right. He played. He was a junior in 2012.
Yeah, he got a ring. There you go.
His senior year, 2013, where they lost in the championship game against Lower Merion.
Yeah, that was a tough one. Losing is not fun. And Chester's done a lot more winning than losing over the years. And Eddie, how did you guys, before we get to the rest of your career, how did you guys rebound? What did you learn from those losses, 66 and 67 and 68? Let's start off with 66 and Shenley. Kenny Durrett.
To actually do better. Just to focus on our mistakes and just to happen to work out harder than what we did before. We always look back into the past if it's a losing cause, but that was a rare case. But still, we always kept our focus on winning. So that was very important. Focusing on our mistakes.
Right. And then you ran into Craig Littlepage and those guys, Cheltenham, 68. Right. And then they eventually lost in the state finals. So after that, tell us about your career at Cheney, who your coach was. Or coach is, I should say.
That's right. That's a good one. I went through, even before I went to Cheney, I went to a junior college, Taylor's Business College. And I had Herb McGee as my coach.
I don't want to say finally, just retired.
Yeah.
Absolute shooting legend. Did you learn how to shoot from him?
No, but I learned how to deal with
Or improve your shot.
Okay, thank you. But like, I learned from her was court awareness, decision of the game, and just basically knowing the right format of shooting from her. From there, I went straight to Cheney, transferred, and I played 3 years up at Cheney. And I had Hal Blitman, I had Dr. Coney, Tony Comer, and I had John Cheney.
Nice. Three of the best. Hal Blitman took a couple of Darby teams.
Darby
State,
Cohen.
yeah,
That's
62 and 63, back-to-back PIAA state championships. Not too shabby right there.
And you know, that's kind of funny too, Dave. I don't mean to cut you off with this. Here we are at a Delaware County area. Back there, we had Class A, Class B, Class C.
Class A, the bigger schools.
That's right.
Class A, the bigger schools. I'm sorry. Class B, the mid-sized schools. And Class C was the smaller schools. And we had a lot of really good teams.
And here's the championship teams. Chester, Class A, Darby Cohen, Class B, Darby Township, Class C.
Yeah, they won a couple. And Darby Coleman won a couple too. The first PIAA state champ from Delaware County in boys basketball, 1953, Yaden High School. And then, well, you guys were a little young at the time, but 1954 state runner-ups to Farrell. 1955 McKeesport. That was no relation, Horace Walker?
No.
Okay. Horace played in the NBA, one of the greatest of all time. And then 55 runner-ups, as I said. 56, we were undefeated again and lost to Ted Dean and Radnor in the District 1 championship. Back then, you had to win the district to go to the state tournament. Yeah. And 57 state runner-ups to Sharon out of Western PA, same county as Farrell. And then that was 50. And 58, we lost just one game, and then we lost we beat Haverford twice in the regular season. 1958, lost to them in the District 1 championship.
That was at the Palestra too.
Yeah, then Haverford went on to win the state title. So we had Yaden 53, Haverford 58. That was at the Palestra, and 59 was the unbelievable team too. Lost to Farrell in the state final. We had Tell us about Emerson Baynard. Who remembers him better, Eddie or Johnny?
All the above.
Everybody. Did you play against him? Did you have a chance to play against him? He was older than you, but I want to know about Emerson Baynard.
Yeah.
There's no film.
Do you want to speak on that, John? Because I have.
Yeah, and I played against with him. Yes.
Could have been in the NBA.
Oh yes.
No doubt about it. Played Eastern basketball.
Definitely a legend. When we would go up to the games during the championship, the different championship runs of the 70s and the 80s.
Right.
That's all we'd be. What's Emerson Baynard doing?
How's Emerson doing?
Yeah.
Amazing.
And the older fellows from up in that area, they would be sitting there telling us the stories of them when he would be playing up there. Yeah.
Yeah, he played actually minor league basketball at Sunbury, close to where my wife is from, up there in the middle of the mountains. And Eddie?
Well, let me tell you this. Emerson used to come down to the cage, and you probably can, notice talk about that too, Johnny. He used to come down there with just regular shoes. No sneakers, okay?
Regular shoes, like
just regular shoes because he
dress shoes?
Dress shoes, and he would go basically after the game, go out on a date or whatever he had to do. And he always challenged people, the fellas. Emerson used to walk off with $50, $75 to $100 betting them. Okay, that was Emerson. Then he leave. Okay, but Emerson was a real. He was one of the best. I have to say that he was the #1 ball player in Chester.
Ever.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you have a chance to play against Horace Walker at all?
No, I never had the chance with him, but I knew Benny Walker.
That's
Which is his brother.
Brother, yeah.
Benny Walker and Mr. Bird
Right.
from media. But Emerson was the best.
Right. Graduated 61. My Uncle Bill from Elman's Variety Store, 3rd and Parker, where my mom grew up. Uncle Bill talks about he blocked one of Emerson's shots in a pickup game, and Emerson was, to say the least, he was ticked off. But anyway, so they made
He
up.
was in ninth grade playing varsity.
Oh yeah, he did. That's rare. I didn't think that could happen back then, but yeah,
Did at that time. Yeah. Emerson played varsity when he was in ninth grade.
That was a 58 team.
Yeah, right.
58, 59, 60, 60. And Chester Biddy, what more can you say? Ralph, this has just got to be, you got to be loving this kind of stuff. Look at all the guys you've produced over the years.
Right. Well, I was came in after these guys had moved on and did doing something else with their life, and now I'm helping the younger generation.
Speaking of the younger generation, Chester is still very competitive. Back-to-back District 1 championships, back-to-back trips to the state semifinals, and losing to Imhotep Charter and Ryan the past 2 years. So you just continue to produce guys. But again, the feeder program, not only Chester High, Chester Charter, but you have kids all over the place, and you have coaches from all over looking at the kids at a young age.
Right. Now, on any given Saturday, we can go down to the gym and we'll get a call from somebody and say a certain coach want to come in and check the kids out, and I really don't support that, but I can't tell them not to come because it's really the parent decision to say that they want to talk to somebody or not. But they're getting the best love and the best caring and the best skills when they with us.
Yeah, absolutely, Ralph. And you have to talk about the Chester program. Yes, we lost a couple kids to the private schools over the summer, but you have now an opportunity for the younger kids to come up and play for the Chester Clippers. And it should be an interesting team again this year. We got some guys coming back and an opportunity for the younger kids to show what they've got, because I see just unbelievable athletes and basketball players at Chester Biddy that a lot of these kids, you can't believe they're like, 5th grade, 6th grade, whatever.
And I tell you, that's why we got you down there, so you can see for yourself firsthand of what kind of talent we bring. The coaches work hard with the kids; they give it their all. Some of them, putting time in with these kids at Biddy League and go home and get into disputes with their own woman or wife, and it causes problems because they care about the kids in the community and want to try to help save at least one kid. And we're going to keep doing it until the program don't run no more.
Oh, well, yeah. How's the funding coming along? How do you get the funding for it?
Yeah, well, with the new board, we're a little bit more professional now. We go out and we reach out to certain businesses, and everybody want to support the kids. So we give them the right literature. We talk to them right, and we offer them incentive for sponsoring teams. So our sponsorship is right there where it should be at.
And back to Chester High basketball, it's tough to win a state championship, especially with the Catholic schools. I mean, they've really done an incredible job over the years getting those kids. Their big thing is to win the championship at the Palestra, the Catholic League, and then they have to regroup, and they win more than they lose, in the state playoffs. You know what I mean? So it is what it is there. But you have a lot of guys that you produced have gone to Catholic League. Well, Kevin Rucker now going to Bonner, and Lorenzo Jerkins going to Goretti, and those guys were there at the Chester Biddy League Championships this year, hanging out and talking to the kids. It was pretty cool.
Right, and we invite them all back. We invite them all back. But one thing I want to say is that about the coach at Chester High, Keith Taylor. I grew up with him in the Wilmington Projects. We both Boys and Girls Club members, and I know he's resilient at getting players ready for the next game. So I'm confident that if them guys want to go, we're going to rebuild and take on the new guys that came on and ready to go. We in Biddy League we got over 50 or 60 kids. Once they turn 13, 14 years old, they're ready to play JV or varsity, even in 9th grade. But you know, it's so many trying out for the team. You can only take the top players. Some players might get overlooked. But the last 4 or 5 years, I can say that they've been having the top players selected on those teams, and that's why they're going so far. There's no favoritism. You know, everybody got to earn their spot. So if somebody want to leave and go somewhere else, then they missing out on a whole lot of love.
You guys have the best feeder program in the country, the best Biddy in the country. I'm going to put that out there. Of course, I'm a little biased being from here and following this program forever. And you have people all over Delaware County. I know the Dailies love you. I get, you know, the Gardlers, all these people that are, you know, from the county here, and they just
Pizza
love.
shop and everything.
What's that? What's that, Eddie?
Pizza shop and everything. Love him too.
Oh, that's
He got big signs and everything about him.
Oh, well, Just Pizza you're talking about?
Just Pizza,
Oh, yeah, yeah. Kent Drake, go ahead, Ralph.
And I can tell you that, you know, we're not only have kids at Chester High, like you said, we got kids in all the Catholic schools, all down in Delaware. Kids come down here from Coastville, Maryland. I mean, we don't turn nobody away, and that's why we can say that we do have the best youth league around. You know, I can't say in the nation because I haven't seen them all. You know, but in this part of the eastern part of Pennsylvania, I can say that you know, and I can't say it's me, you know, because it's been doing this before my time. It's been going on for the last, you know, 55 years. So I'm just carrying a torch for the younger guys and helping them get where they need to be at to get ready for high school, try to keep them out of trouble, and go to school and do the right thing while we have them. Because once they turn 14, we pretty much turn them over to the high school, and we follow a lot of them, but we don't intervene with what the high school's doing because we got confidence in the coaches over there, and we also got some good girls too. You know, some of our better girls are leaving the high school. Yeah. You know, I can name 4 or 5 girls right now that if they play for Chester High, will be fighting for a championship.
Marvin Dukes is back as well. That last year was his first year back, and he's going to get that baby going. Everybody loves Marvin.
Yep, another William Penn guy, Chester Boys Club guy. I love them both. You know, my daughter will be playing for Marvin this year, and my son will be playing for Coach Taylor this year. So I got 2 kids playing for Chester High this coming season.
So William Penn Project, you grew up right across from Elman's Variety Store.
Yeah,
then.
I know Joe.
Oh yeah, and yeah,
Joe and I coached at the
my Uncle Joe.
Joe Holman. I'm talking.
Oh,
about.
Joe Holman. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. No. Yeah, we coached at the what is that on the east side? Can't remember the middle
Salvation
school.
Army, Smetley.
No. It's right on the east side. But anyway, this is on my mind. All pros and props to Marvin Dukes because he was my youngest student at the YMCA. Marvin stuck with us. He was too young to play in the league, but he just stayed there, just to gather things as far as coaching and playing. And it's funny because the coach, I think it was Eugene Floyd, came over and said, "Ed, can you get him in?" Because Marvin was 10 years old then.
Wow.
But that was the rules and regulations. But he stayed there.
Yeah, he played on some really good Chester teams also. 84,
props to
85, state semifinal team, 86. I think he graduated, Marvin. I think 86.
Yeah, okay.
And I know Keith graduated 87, Keith Taylor.
Okay.
I think they both graduated together.
87.
But I got to say this real fast. Quick and hurry again.
Now we still have, we're at 20 minutes. Woo,
Okay,
what does
cool.
time fly?
Cool. Johnny Walker have a son that played in the, what was the?
Christian Academy.
Christian Academy, right. And like, he was an excellent basketball player.
What's that?
Gentleman.
Malik.
Malik. I know Malik.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I also do public address announcing for Chester Charter Basketball, and they play Christian Academy every year.
Right.
So Malik, he went to TCA, right?
Yes.
How's he doing?
He's good.
All right, great. So that's your son. There you go. Awesome. Malik, and he was a pretty good ball player. Did he graduate like back in the 90s?
Lincoln 96, yeah.
Right. 96. Wow. You know, I could literally talk Chester basketball history, and yeah, we had all the old heads, and Kerbo and Ron Freeman, the late great Ron Freeman, and Lawson Showell. You remember all those guys?
Yeah, right.
They were they graduated. A lot of these guys graduated in the early 50s. They were following your teams. And Kerbo's still hanging in there.
Yeah.
Al and George
I had
Dennis.
these fellas. I had like Nate Hall.
He went to St. James.
Well, I really don't know, but I had him at the West Branch YMCA.
Right. Yeah, Nate-
before he went to.
He was a tough
I
player
had
at St. James.
Steve Miller.
Nurse,
I had Mike Johnson. I had Eric
the Wizard Jones.
Jones. I had all these fellas. But once my man said that once you become to be that certain age, it has to go into another level. And actually, they actually won the championship.
Oh, 83.
Yeah.
That was the first Chester team to win a state championship in basketball after going 0-7 in the state finals.
I had Keith Woods. I had all them.
State champs, 89 year, Ralph. Back to that 89 team. What'd you think of that?
I mean, it was an awesome team. I played with them guys for the first 2 years, and we never lost a game on the freshman team or JV. So I've seen Keith Wood come in, and then Zane came over there and started doing his thing. Larry Yarbrough, awesome point guard. Mike Johnson, Shep Garner, Ernie Johnson. I played with a lot of them guys. Galen Howard, and I know in freshman year, and we had Art Henry as our freshman coach. We never lost a game. Then went on the JV, and Fred Pickett and them came on, and we never lost a game that year. Then I decided to do something else with my life, so I gave the school ball up and started, being a barber to make me put some money in my pocket. So I stopped playing for the high school team.
You're on that video Jeremy Treatment did in the 95 season, I think
Right.
it was. Yeah, and went near a barbershop.
Right, and whenever he see me at his events, he say, "Come on in, I know you get in for free." And I didn't know he remembered me from that video, and I went back and saw it, and I remember, I think Graham Hunter, Fareed Burton, and all them guys.
Sonny
was
Blackwell.
in the barbershop. Yep, all those guys was coming in and getting haircuts.
I'm sorry, that was actually 97, 98, because they show a snippet of Jameer in there. That was Jameer's sophomore
he used
year.
to come and get his haircut there from me too.
But 1989, man, that was a team that we just couldn't beat Carlisle. We lost to them 3 times in the state semifinals, 85, 87, 88. Unbelievable. And then finally, the Billy Owens days, and Billy graduates, and then I was on the radio up there then. They went 33-0 in 1988, Carlisle. Then the next year, Coach Lebo left, Billy left, and most of their starters, they won 1 game the next year. But the team, Steel High, was really tough. We beat them in the second round of the states. Glenn Mills, actually the Glenn Mills game was second round of the states. Remember that double overtime game out of Cheney? Chester beat Glenn Mills in double
What
overtime.
year was that?
89. That was
Okay.
Bobby Robinson.
Right.
Okay.
And so then we eventually won the state title that year, and we've won, 8 all total, Johnny Walker. Can you believe it? Well, Malik is still the head coach at Christian Academy?
No, Malik's he lives in Orlando, Florida now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. There you go. Well, hey, what a nice guy. Good coach. Good coach, too.
Good person.
Yeah. Eddie again.
Good dad.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it comes from the family here. So thank you for coming out here tonight. We still have 15 minutes. And Eddie, congratulations on your Hall of Fames. I know you're a humble guy, but you got a bunch of them.
Yeah, I have 5. I've been inducted 5 times in the Hall of Fame. Chester, Cheney University, Pennsylvania Hall of Fame, Delaware County Hall of Fame, the Mickey Vernon Hall of Fame,
Nice.
and I was also inducted in Baseball Hall of Fame, coaching for the sophisticated ladies.
What were they?
Softball. Girls.
What year is that?
That was like, now I'm really going back, Dave. Back in the late in the 90s,
Wow, incredible. It's like, Ralph, we're with living legends right here.
Right, and I'm glad I know these guys. You know, I talk to them a lot whenever I see them, and soak up all the information they have to share with me.
Now, do you guys get a chance to come out? Do they talk to you guys? I mean, do they come out and talk to the kids and some of the events?
We just honored Eddie Swain this past about 3 months ago at the Biddy League banquet.
Less
We
than
got a
that.
standing ovation
Less than that.
back in March. I mean, no, April, March or April.
Yeah, okay. But I appreciate that. Excellent banquet.
Nice. Unbelievable job
Recently.
here. So, Ralph, anything else you want to promote? What's going on with Chester Biddy right now? I can't believe it's August 1st already. What do you got going on getting ready for the fall?
Well, time is flying, and like I mentioned earlier, we're going to run these summer programs. And it's not just going to be basketball. We're going to talk to them about gun violence in the communities, how to keep your community safe, violence prevention, anything under that umbrella. I got 5 or 6 guys coming in to speak to the kids, you know, who have experiences with trauma in their life. Some of them might have lost a friend or a family member, and so we want them to come and share their story with these younger kids, so we can help save our community. Because, you know, even though we have basketball, we still have people out here, you know, doing things that they shouldn't be doing as far as like guns and violence. So we want to try to put all that under that basketball umbrella and try to win our community over that way.
Raylene Pierce is checking in, and you mentioned her earlier in the show. What a job, huh? Mm-hmm. She's like one of your top assistants.
Right. Me and her came in together, and we've been moving this thing along the whole, you know, for the last 22 years. Sometimes I want to give up. She'd say, no, we need you, or the kids need you, or when she want to give up, I say the same thing to her. So I told her, you know, when you go, I'm going.
Is that Bobby Crawford's daughter?
Mm-mm.
No.
Raylene, her father played for Chester back in the early football, back in the 60s.
I'm talking about Crawford.
Oh, man. Raylene, maybe if you're still watching.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think. Remember, I gave her some snippets on
Bobby
her.
Crawford was a hell of a football player.
All right. Well, hopefully Raylene will come back and give us because we can see on a thread here some comments, and yeah, nice. So again, everything is archived. So Ralph, everybody around the state, I do work in Harrisburg and Central PA, and everybody knows you. My buddy Gene Lambert.
Right. Good friend of mine.
Gene really. Raymond Pierce is Raylene's. Raymond Pierce is her father. So he played at Chester in 63, 64, 65 basketball. Football, I'm sorry.
Alan, well, Pierce, that's right, I know Pierce. He used to live on the Concord Road.
Yeah, he had a rough injury his senior year. He would have been a star on the
That's
team.
my man. I like Pierce.
There you go.
We call him Pierce, yeah.
Johnny?
Dave, I just wanted to interject regarding the Biddy League and the impression that it has on the youth, you know, and I'm saying, me personally, what it did for me, and what the potential, what it can do for the youth, you know, with the right resources, you know, and so we have limited resources in Chester, and you know, all the resources that are available, you know, we welcome it, we need it, you know, and that's I just wanted to put that out, you know, we need it for our kids, you know, it's actually a life or death situation in our streets, you know, and that's what we need. We have limited resources because of the size of our city. We're not a Philadelphia. We're not a big metropolitan area that gets the different grants and things. So our resources are limited. So, you know, whatever, you know, resources that are available, we welcome it.
Do you guys, Johnny all the way to the right and Eddie in the middle over there, do you guys keep in touch with a lot of your teammates from that 1964 Chester Biddy World Championship team?
It's funny you ask. Rob McCarthy and Louis Deal.
Louis, who's the other one?
Louis Deal. We we routinely speak with each other.
Right.
At Father's Day, that's the last I spoke with them, Father's Day. But on Father's Days, Christmas, things of that nature, or sometimes just out the blue, just to call you, say, you know, hey man, I'm thinking about you, you know, how you doing, love you, boom. And Louis is outside of
He's in Harrisburg.
Harrisburg, and I was at his farm one time. He has a nice farm. I was there. Me and Rob was up there. I had dinner with him and his wife, and it's beautiful up there. Yeah, and yeah, we stay in contact. Bob is in Maryland, and his son and my son played for TCA on the same team.
There you go, the Christian Academy in Brookhaven. And again, Eddie, just I want to bring up the place. Well, I'm blank on it. You said it already.
That's okay.
Playing at the Voc. That was your home gym, the Vocational Center, Potter Street. And then they moved to the 74-75 was the first year they played at the current Clip Joint Fred Pickett gym. But what was it like playing at the Voc?
Good.
You're right on the floor.
Now, I mean, it was like,
Fans right on the floor.
listen, it was like playing at Boston. You know, Boston always had their gym at a higher temperature.
Boston Garden, yeah.
The Boston Garden, and on a low scale, that's how Chester High was. Like Chester, the vocational building, that's what you're talking about, seated 800 people. And there was bleachers, you know. It came to a certain time, could nobody else get in. Hell, we had like 100 to 50 people out in the hall trying to get in.
Yep.
Right, Johnny? Trying to get in. So that was like a learning experience for me as far as dealing with the people and accepting and trying to bring pleasure to the people. With this, I want to say, I kind of want to revert back to the kids what Johnny was talking about. One thing, and I hope some of the kids out here while we're talking, one thing that I really want to say to the kids, and I didn't have the opportunity to say that when Raouf was honored, you know, had me speaking. Don't give up. It doesn't matter whether you're going to be an excellent basketball player. It doesn't matter whether you're going to be an excellent baseball player or football player. Don't give up. Get into something that you can really deal with and hang with as far as knowing what you have to do. Just accept the fact that you may not be able to be this, but you have other avenues that you can go to. So don't give up.
Eddie, hopefully you will do more speaking. I mean, get the message out there. And Johnny, too.
And before I go, I just want to mention one more thing. During the summer, you know, I normally travel and coach with the guys when they turn between 14 and 16. And I got a good group of guys now that's getting them ready for the JV and varsity team. Some of them was going in the 9th grade. Some of them was going in the 10th grade. A couple of them was going to 11th grade. And we playing in the Ardmore League. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but we're out there playing once a week. And then we also have, we're going to go to Coatesville and play their All-Star team in a couple weeks. And we're also going to Westchester and play in the Melton gym and play their All-Star teams. And this year, since the pandemic hit, we weren't able to go to Baltimore, but Carmelo Anthony got an outdoor facility down there where we take them at and play. So we don't just take them to Brookhaven and places, Plymouth. We go in the city and towns that are similar to Chester and let our kids get out there and interact and make friends and communicate with them guys out there. And then 3 or 4 years away from when they get to college, they might be on the same college team, or they might start taking kids down there to play. but they get familiar with the communities out there, and they treat us real well. And we're going to continue to do that for the next 20 years.
Amen.
Shout out to my man Joe Holmes before we get off here, because without him, I probably wouldn't be doing Biddy League right now in the day. I would have gave it up.
Well, Joe's big on Facebook. Eddie, you would love
Hey,
it,
Joe.
man.
Hey, Joe.
Yep.
Hey, Coach.
I'm going to put the link on late tonight or tomorrow from YouTube. Tell us about the Cage, where Lou Alcindor was here one time. I don't know about Wilt if he was ever here, but the Cage was more of a place to play pickup ball, right, in Chester.
Absolutely. John, you want to go?
Cage, I would consider the Cage was like the mecca of basketball in this area. Anybody in basketball was at the Cage. Yeah.
What streets? It was in an intersection of streets.
It was
Pinto and
Lamokin.
Lamokin.
Between 7th and 8th.
That's right.
And it was a chain link fence.
I thought you not chain nets.
We had that too.
They did have we had them at one time, but they did take them off, but we did have the chain links.
And we
it
had
was
that
four.
too.
Cage was 4 courts, and
Four full courts.
actually,
Two
full
full.
courts.
Okay, so it was. Yeah, I mean, some big timers came there.
And the main court, the main court was at any time. Back then, to play, you had to keep playing. You had to keep winning. So that's that, and so you had to get the best team, and when somebody like Lou Alcindor would come down, now he would come down and he would ask, where's Mike Marshall? He knew who he wanted to play for, you play with, and he asked for him, and we get on our bikes and we ride around and get them because we were
Wow.
That's it. And we bring them back, tell them, hey, Lou's down. He want to play you. And I want to say it was a fella. He's no longer living, but I think he was an actual legend, and he never got actual because he didn't go to school. Paul Elam, call him Gritsy. They asked when they would come, they would ask for Gritsy. They wanted to play Gritsy.
Is it about your age? Graduated 68. Would have graduated.
Gritsy would have graduated in.
It'd have been my time.
He'd have been about 67, 66, 67. He graduated in that time. But Gritsy was a playground legend.
Did the Cage have lights?
No.
No lights. So you had to get.
Hold on. We wind up, we wind up having lights, but if you want to call them lights, then fine. Okay. It was just string of lights. But that's the city.
Right. I hear you. Unbelievable. The Cage. I have an art.
We would shovel off in the wintertime. We would come. If you would know, most everybody. No one had the right hand glove. Everybody would have a left hand glove, but you wouldn't have the right hand because you never have you always had the glove off your shooting hand.
Nice.
So you could shoot. And you would always lose that glove.
Well, you guys got to do some coaching, man, or volunteer or something,
Well, the Cage was a very historical place. And we can go way back and talk about Horace Walker.
Right. Johnny Lazick, all those guys.
Granny Lash.
Oh man,
all these people. It's nothing. It has nothing but history, but it's gone. The Cage is gone now. There's no more Cage.
I know. It's housing. There's houses there. Ralph, what is the new Cage? Where it's 7th Street?
Well, we normally have leagues at 7th Street, but the last 3 or 4 years, it's been like construction going on down there. So we really don't want the kids going down 7th Street while they're doing construction. But once they get done, we'll try to secure a grant or something like that to get the kids and community back down 7th Street because, I don't know about the Cage. That's before my time. But I know 7th Street, all the guys and we got 5 guys that made it pro playing down 7th Street. And that's including Jameer Nelson,
Derek Jones.
Rondé Hollis, Derek Jones, and then there's quite a few guys
Tyreek.
that came down here. Tyreek Evans, they came down here from Darby Township and played. They used to catch a train down here from Yale. They catch a train and get off right over town and come down here to play in our league. And we would have about probably about 800 people down there in the summer at a summer game. Cars would be parked from one end of 7th Street all the way up to the other end on 7th and 6th Street. But you know, them days are gone for now. But we'll resurface and get it started back up again in the next year or two.
Great to hear. And Ralph, how can people get in touch with you?
Well, they can call my cell phone. My phone number is 610-803-6051. You can also text me on that number, or you can hit me on Facebook, Ralph Dorsey.
There you go. And Eddie Swain, how can people? Do you want people to keep in touch with you?
Well,
Go through me. Go through.
well, yeah. Since you stated that, yeah, good. But there's one thing that I really want to point out, and I want to mention about Joe Holman, excellent gentleman, very, very polite, and he's a minister. And Joe is one of the persons that I'm trying to get into the Hall of Fame. Now, Dave, since I mentioned that, you and I, see, I have voting rights for the Delaware County Hall of Fame, and so do you.
Well, I'm on the board. Yeah,
You're on the board, right?
I'm only one vote, but I
vote.
push for.
Voting means voting. It can help.
Yes.
But like the person that I'm really trying to push right now today is Debbie DeJournette.
We'll keep in touch.
Okay. I'm trying to get her on there, but Joe is my next person. And excellent baseball player. Matter of fact, Joe Holman was a 4-letter man.
Yeah. Yep.
Basketball, baseball, track, football. I mean, what else?
Oh, he's going to love this. His face, if he's not watching live, he'll watch a replay, and then his face turn red. And he had a couple sons of really good players also.
Yeah, absolutely, but it's the truth. So I honor him, and I'd just like to say that if we can deal, once I let you know right now, as far as voting rights for the Delaware County, out of eight to maybe 100 and a little bit more at the Delaware County Hall of Fame, there's only 13 African Americans there.
In the which?
As far as different avenues. I'm trying to, I'm mentioning about Raouf as a sports promoter.
Oh yeah. Oh, there's
he should be in there too.
Right. Yeah. You guys, our website, Delaware County Athletes Hall of Fame, all the information, a list of all the folks that have been inducted and how to submit somebody to get into the Hall of Fame.
So
it's a process.
Support. We need your support, Dave.
Yeah, I'm there. I'm with you, man.
I'm looking right at you now.
All right, I know. But again, I'm only one person. But
I know that.
I know some things, and I push for some things, and they haven't gone my ways. But
okay, but you are on that board, though.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. All right, Jean-Pierre Bryce, thank you very much. Great job. This is awesome. CMPRadio.net. Johnny Walker, Eddie Swain, members of the 1964 World Championship Chester Biddy team. Ralph Dorsey, longtime president, jack of all trades for Chester Biddy Basketball. I'm Dave Burman, and thank you very much for checking in. We'll see you next time.